Okay, now we're on Tez Zayin Amud Aleph. Kol mezanoisav shel Adam, k'tzuvi lo miRosh Hashanah v'ad Yom HaKippurim. All the mezonos of a person, that means how much he's going to make that year, is decreed between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
Very apropos.
Right? Chutz moitzar Shabbos is moitzas Yontif. What's not included is what you're going to spend on Shabbos. So it means whatever if you spend more, Hashem will give you more. And Yontif, and for your bon of the Talmud Torah. That's like a freebie. If you didn't have enough, or if they gave you too much, they give you less, as long as it covers these other things. And if you spent a lot more money because of Shabbos, Yontif, and Talmud Torah, they give you more. That's a good fundraising tool, Walter. You should say this Gemara to the shul. Doesn't make it in. Whatever you give, Hashem's going to give you more.
Exactly. Everyone know that. So that's always my shita, but people don't listen. You know? No, but Baruch Hashem, people are you should know that people are really special and very nice, and they were very, very generous this year.
Baruch Hashem.
No, it was unbelievable. Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem. Aravo Mikra, Tiku B'Chodesh Shofar B'Kesel Yom Chagenu. Now, Ezeu Chag Shachodesh Miskasebo, which is the Yontif, where there's no new, you don't see the moon. It's Rosh Hashanah. It's the only Yontif that's on the Rosh Chodesh. Uksiv Ki Chok Yisrael Hu Mishpad Yaakov. So Chok refers to the money you're going to earn. My mashma da'ai Chok lishta de mezoynihu. Dichsiv achluas chukam asher nasan lehem paro. The paro gave food to the slaves. It's called the chukam. That was their mezoynis. Marzut Rama mehacha hatrifeni lechem chuki. It's another source that chuki refers to lechem. Tanya Amar Lav Shammai Hazoken. We said about Shammai, Kol Yom Havaya Oichel Lichvod Shabbos. Every day, the only thing he ate was food designated for Shabbos. How did that work? When he went to the store, Motzah Be'im and Noah, he found some nice meat. Oimer Zula Shabbos. However, the next piece of meat he found that was nicer, Motzah Cheres Noyim and Amenech Zashniya Vorch Zarishoina. He left the other one for Shabbos. He ate the first one. So it turns out that everything he ate had previously been designated for Shabbos. Aval Hillel Zagzoke Mida Cheres Aiselo. Shekol Masav L'Shem Shamayim. Wasn't he's every day for him was a blessing. Shemar Baruch Hashem Yom Yom. Tamachi B'Shamayim Mechad Shvech L'Shabbosek. He worked always towards Shabbos. So I mean Baruch Hashem Yom Yom. No, every day has its own bracha. You give a gift to a friend, you can give it to him anonymously. Moshe came down from the mountain. His face was shiny. He didn't know. Hashem gave him a gift, but he didn't tell him. That Shabbos is given for you to know that I made you holy. Moshe, I have a good gift to give to Klal Yisrael. It's in my treasure store. It's called Shabbos. Go and tell them. So it's what do you mean if you give a matana, you shouldn't inform? Here Hashem is giving a matana. He's telling Moshe directly to inform them. You give something to a child in shul, you have to tell his mother. Depends. A matana that is not going to be found out, you have to tell him. But a matana that eventually is going to be found out, like Shabbos, eventually Moshe was going to find that face was shining because people would have told them, so that they didn't have to say it. But Shabbos, l'chura, they wouldn't find out. So the Gemara is going to ask. Shabbos nami matona davila glui. I mean, Shabbos they're going to find out about as well. Yeah, Shabbos they'll find, but matan schora lo avila glui. But the reward for Shabbos, that they won't find out, so you have to tell them. You give a child something, piece of bread, you got to let the mother know. How do you let him know? You put some like blue ink on his forehead. Well, the mother's going to ask, well, who put you on the blue ink? Oh, this guy, and he also gave me a piece of bread. But today we have black magic, and they use this kind of paint. So what do we do today? If you gave him some ice cream, you have to stick some ice cream on his forehead so that the mother will understand that somebody gave him the ice cream. All mitzvahs were given publicly. Chutz mi Shabbos. Shenosan lahem betzina was given privately. Shenemar beini uvebnei Yisrael oisi la'olam. Well, the fact that non-Jews that didn't want to be makabel other mitzvahs, so they get punished for that. Well, if Shabbos was secret, then they should not be punished for Shabbos. Shabbos oidi do it. They were told about Shabbos, but matan schara loidu. They weren't told about the reward. The Gentiles were told about the reward as well. But Neshama Yisera loyalty. They didn't know that they would be given the Neshama Yisera. Hashem gives a Neshama Yisera to everybody Erev Shabbos. Takes it back. That's why we use the Psumim. Shenemar Shavas v'ay nafash. Kevin Shavas v'ay of the nefesh. So to make an Erev Tavshilin, you have to prepare Erev Yontif. Rabbi Loishan al Tavshil. You'd have to have some cooked. We use like a cooked egg. Most use a matzah and you need a piece of pas and something cooked. So the minig is to use a hard-boiled egg. You can use anything. You could use a piece of kugel. Rabbi Loishan al Tavshil. Val paslo, piece of bread alone, no. Maishna pasta lo. Why not? You need something with taste. Upas lo malafta, v'hadaisa nami. Daisa is like oatmeal. The lo malaf doesn't have taste. They eat bread with bread. Yet we make an eruv with daisa, which is a cooked dish. You need something that's unusual. Upas shchicha. Pas is something that we have every day. Daisa lo shchicha, so that's why daisa could be used. You have to use a cooked food. Aval pasloi. You can't use bread. You have to use something that's unusual. But this daisa, this oatmeal or whatever this cooked grain dish is, you don't make an erev with daisa. You need something that has taste on its own. Upas lo malafta. Right? Pas is eaten with things that have taste. But daisa nami lo malafta. And the reason why daisa is not used for an erev because it doesn't have taste. Lentils. That's on the bottom of the dish. That you can rely on. As long as you have a kazayis. If you have some fat from a dish that you cooked on a knife, you can scrape it off. You can also rely on that. As long as herring or sardines, small fish that are salted, there is no bishul akum because they're not cooked. Only something that they're salted. The bishul, there's no bishul. They can be eaten the way they are. Just like you can eat like a raw carrot. And therefore, if you cook carrots, there's no bishul akum. Rav Yosef Solo Nachri, if a non-Jew fried up these dagim ketani meluchim, that could be eaten, and it could be soymech, and they're mutter to eat. It's not. There's no bishul akum. It's not prohibited to eat as bishul akum because we said these kind of fish. There's no din of bishul akum.
I wonder if that's why people ate so much herring.
I think because it was present there in Lithuania.
I understand, but you see that there's a special din over there.
Yeah, and in a chanami, it's because there's less risk of bishul akum. And in a chanami, it's there because it was present there in the Baltic Sea.
No.
The avdina nachri kasa daharis no osir, but if they fry it up with like breading, so that's osir already al bishul akum. Because flour, you can't eat it raw, so there would be a din of bishul akum if you fry up flour and make breading out of it. Versus pshita, about the same harsma ikr. Maybe the fish is ikr, and since the fish is there's no problem with bishul akum, I would have thought it's permitted. Kamash malon kimcha ikr. People who eat breaded fish, their mind is on the breading. And therefore, it's become more chashuv, and therefore there's din of bishul akum. We learned all this in Surim and Rabbanon.
Yeah.
Amar Baba, Eruvi Tavshilin Tzrichin Kazayas. The Erev Tavshilin needs at least a Kazayas. Ibois Luhu. Is it Kazayas Echad? Let's say you have 20 people in your house. Is it one Kazayas for everybody? Or Dilma Kazayas Lekol Echad Ve'echad? Tor Shma Adam Rav Abba Marav Eruvi Tavshilin Tzrichin Kazayas. Bein Lechad Bein Lameya. One kazayas for even 100 people. It's not. It says ochlo sha'avad. If it was eaten or lost, so then lo yivashalav b'tchila. But shir mimenu kolshu. If you left over a little bit, soy mechalav l'shabbos. Then you could my kolshu. Maybe lav avagav deleka kazayas. Maybe that's a raya. You don't need a kazayas. Here the Gemara answers lo kidei ispe kazayas. Kolshu here means kazayas. Toshma tavshil zetzli. We want you something roasted, vafilu kavush or pickled, shaluk cooked, mavushal with water. V'kul yisai spanin shenosan alav chamer yontiv. This is some kind of fish dish, I think. Yeah, if you pour hot water for erev yontiv, it's already considered mavushal. It sounds like sushi. It means you don't have to cook it very much. It's like seared, very little cooking. It says ein lo shir. So the Gemara wants to say, my lav ein lo shir klal, and meaning in less kazayas. Or it says lo ein lo shir lamala. Could be as much as you want. Yesh shir lamata, which is a kazayas. That's the din. Amar Amarab. Eruv tavshilin tzrichin das. The person has to. It can't be without das. Pshita das minich bein. Well, of course, the guy who's laying it. No, laying down the Eruv knows about das mishinich lobina lobina. The question is, I'm laying down an Eruv for Walter. Does he have to know about it or not? Toshma Davud Shmuel Marva Kulanardo. The father of Shmuel, who was the Rav of the town, he laid down an Eruv Tavshilin for the whole city. He had them in mind. Ravami Ravasi Ma'arvu Akulu Tveria. They laid an Eruv for the whole city of Tveria. And then Machriz Rav Yaakov Baridi, Mishloiniach Eruv Tavshilin Yavov Yismachal Shaliva, can rely on my Eruv.
Why do we say Zochar Adam Shlo B'Forav?
So you have to let people know. You have to let people know.
No, but why can't we say Zochar Adam? People know that he can be.
There's no Zechia here. There's no Zechia here.
Why? So they can be Vashal and Yontif.
But there's no, Zachin refers to acquiring something else kinyan. When you say Zachin la'adam shaloi b'fanav, I can pick something up and I'm acquiring it for him.
But you allowed him to.
Without his das, because it's a schus for him. Here's something different. Here the halacha is that it has to be made, the person who's making the Eruv has to know, and he has to know that he's being moitzi other people.
Aaron, but wasn't there a custom that the rabbi of the community used to make it for everybody?
That's exactly what this halacha is based on.
So then you're zoche somebody else.
But you have to let him know. But you have to let him know. You have to make an announcement.
Okay.
That you can rely on my Eruv. So by the way, the Yesh Oimrim in Shulchan Aruch, shekevan she'achshav oimrim hakol benusach kavua l'chol adorim be'irazu, afein tzarich lo, the Taz says you don't have to make an announcement. The Shach says somebody has to be zoich al yedei acher. That you lay down the Erev and is mezakin also la'acher sheyizke l'chol mi shirotza.
Yeah, but you can't, the whole city, you don't know the names of the whole city, you know one or two guys, but you can't make
because it said, l'chol adorim be'irazu, ein tzarich lo yediyah. The Taz says you don't have to, like Johnny said, became known that the Rav does it for the city, and you can be soymech. Ad kama, amrav techum barzachayim mishmei by ad tchum Shabbos. It's not to the whole world. It's the tchum Shabbos, 2,000 amis. There was a Rav that he prepared the Mishnayos for Rav Shmuel. He was sad. Why are you sad? I forgot to lay an Erev Tavshin. Armalei, Smach Hadidi, you can rely on mine. Lishana, the next year, he was sad again. Armalei Amayat Sivis. Why are you sad? Armalei, I didn't do it again. Armalei, now you're a Persheya. L'kul Amishar L'cha'aser. For the rest of the city, they can rely on mine, and you can't rely on mine. Let's say you need to make an Eruv Tchum. You want to walk more than 2,000 ames. You can't do it on Yom Tov. Let's say you live in a bunch of Chatzeros and you want to be able to carry on Shabbos. So you need to make an Erev Chatzeros, but you didn't do it from Erev Yom Tov. The Tanakhama here says you can't do it on Yom Tov. We're talking about Yom Tov is on Friday. Rabbi Omer Ma'arvin Erev Chatzeros, Avalo Erev Tchumin. Rabbi says you can make Erev Chatzeros, but you can't make Erev Tchumin. We paskin like the Tanakhama, not like Rabbi. We can't lay any Eruv. Now, Rabbi says, meaning, I'm not allowed to walk 2,000 amas on Yom Tov, so I can't lay an Erev Tchum. But Erev Chatzeros I can do. I can carry. I can walk around on Yom Tov. There's no Isser carrying. So there's no reason why I should usher that. Itmar Rav Amar Locha K'Tanakama. Ushmolam Halacha Karebi. Iboiluhu. Halacha Karebi L'Kula L'Chumra. Is it halacha like Rabbi L'Kula L'Chumra? So Pshita the L'Kula come. It's a Kula that he said that you're allowed to do Erev Chatzeros. No. Mishum D'Sholach Rabbi Lozer L'Goyla. Lo Chatem Shonim B'Bavel. Rabbi Matir Mechachamim Oisrim. You had a gear son Bavel. That Rabbi was the Matir. El Rabbi Oisrim Mechachamim Matirim. But we had a gear so that Rabbi was Aser Mai. So is this a Kula or a Chumra? Mai. Toshmad Rav Tachliv Bar Avdimi Avadu de Kavasid Shmuel. He did like Shmuel. V'amar Rav Tchilas Hoyrod Aitzrim Rabbana LeKilkula. This psak of this Talmid Chacham led to a kilkul. So Iyamit Bishma LeKula Ka'amar. So how did it lead to a kilkul? If he led to a kula, if he was a kula, Haino Kilkula. It shouldn't have been lenient. It shouldn't be machmir. He ended up doing something he wasn't supposed to do. Iyamit LeChumra Michael Kula Ikka. If he was machmir, what kind of kilkul could occur? Even to Mekakle Barabim, because people could have avoided carrying on Shabbos using Erev Chatzeros, and they didn't have the benefit. Hainikol Kula. Means it's like the gears of Rebbe where he assered that you can't do Erev Chatzeros or Erev Tchumim, and that's the halacha. Okay, so tomorrow, great to see you, Johnny. And by the way, Motzei Shabbos, that also might be a good time for Johnny. We do 8:30.
Okay, that could work.
Yeah, 8:30 Motzei Shabbos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway,
okay,
very good.
Great learning, early. You switch off the recording.
Yeah.
So I just want to tell you, when I was a little kid,